Hello, everyone.
Okay.
Welcome to ELI, the place where you get your daily dose of inspiration for entrepreneurship. And today we have with us Vaishal Dalal, who is the co-founder of Excellent Publicity, which is an advertising agency headquartered out of Ahmedabad. Hi, Vaishal. Welcome to ELI.
Hi, Priya. Thank you so much for the invite.
I would request you to introduce yourself to our audience, Vaishal.
Hi, everyone. This is Vaishal Dalal from Excellent Publicity. We are a 360-degree advertising agency. We are a 12-year, I would not say 12-year old, but 12-year young media and advertising agency based out of Ahmedabad. But we do have our offices across Mumbai, Delhi, Pune, Indore, Dubai, and with the capability to serve clients globally. We serve all the possible advertising mediums that you can think of. It's sort of a one-stop solution that any brand would require in the age where marketing is not just an option but a compulsion. And that's what we do. We serve brands to the best of the potential that we can to nurture new brands, to support existing brands to go big. And that's the short summary as to what we do.
You said you are 12 years young company. That means a good chunk of your staff is very young in the demography. Uh, can you tell us more about your the people who work with you? How many people are there in your company, and how do you hire them and all?
Right. We are a 150 people company, and by end of March, probably we'll be crossing 200. We are a different organization in the space as if the kind of hiring that we do. Uh, Out of these 150, most of the team members that we hire are freshers. The average age of our organizational team members is around 25 years, 24, 25, because as soon as they pass from the college, they apply and we take them on board. The specific thing that we look at hiring anyone is the kind of arc that they have within, the fire within, in order to achieve what they want to do rather than the kind of experience that they have. And the ideology behind this is that me and my co-founder, I would like to share a story about us also. We go together way back in 2004 in our 11th standard when we met in the school. And since then we have been together. So it was always planned that the kind of bonding that we share, whatever we do, we'll do it together. And that's how we formed Excellent Publicity. As soon as we completed our studies, we started with Excellent Publicity because of a passion that we have. And I guess we'll address that probably in the latter half of the podcast. Now, since we have not done a job, we had no idea as to what is the organization, what is the work culture, how hiring and everything is being done, how the organization is run. And we started in our own way the organization, the kind of dealings that we were making with the clients and stuff. And that's where we realized that the way we operate is not the kind of a normal process out there in the market, and that's not how the normal organizations operate. We work pretty differently, and because of that reason we saw that any kind of experienced employee or experienced team member of this industry, they would not be accommodative because of their previous experience or previous thought process as to how the work is being done. That's the reason we started hiring freshers, because they are completely fresh. It's like a small baby. The way you nurture, the way you give them upbringing, the way you want to mold, you will be able to mold them based on the fire within, based on the genes or DNA that they have. And that's how we started, and that's how we have built our company. So far, majority 90% of the team members that we have hired are freshers. We don't look at their education, we don't look at their language or the kind of family background they come from. All that we see is the honesty and the fire within to achieve something in lives, because we are hiring freshers. So the general age group where when we hire them are 20 to 23 years. At that point of time, they are young, they have fire within, and these are all Gen Zs, right? Overall, Gen Zs as a generation, they are pretty knowledgeable. They are pretty smart. They are exposed to the social media and general happenings and the affairs of the world. So they are pretty smart in the way that if they have a fire within, they are proactive. They'll be able to achieve things in a much shorter span than what our generation would probably do. And that's the reason, and this has been so far pretty successful. And as far as, like, we have been interacting with a lot of people. Aman Gupta, like both, everyone is aware of them, aware of him. He also did similar kind of things. He also hired freshers, and that also worked for both. We are also young organization, plus the kind of industry that we are in, the vibrancy that it requires, it also depends on young blood, and that's the reason so far so good. But as we grow, as we step beyond, we are looking to accommodate and hire experienced people, because now the margin of error is pretty small. High values and high volumes are at stake. Bigger client briefs and possibilities of huge errors may cost a bomb. And that's the reason now we are starting to hire few experienced people as well. But yeah, as we speak, as at this point of time, our average age group is somewhere around 24, 25. Majority of them are unmarried. And so at the prime of their careers, where they can achieve whatever they want to achieve.
I understand that you are also an accountant graduate. So can you tell us how did the transition happen from
Okay, I
finance
am a
and
chartered accountant. I am a chartered accountant, and when I became one, I was one of the youngest at that time. So I became a chartered accountant at the age of 21, and it was all through first attempt. And so that helped me get a job of around 12 lakhs in 2011. So in 2011 to 2010 November is when I cleared my CA. And immediately on campus placements, I got a job worth 12 lakhs. Uh, but yeah, advertisement as an industry was always a passion that I wanted to be a part of. So immediately after my studies completed, so CA completed, I have also cleared few papers of actuarial science, which is considered to be one of the toughest course across the globe. Uh, I've also cleared few papers of that, but since I was always passionate about advertising industry, immediately as soon as I completed my studies, I started researching about this, and I found out that there is a gap in this particular industry, where every industry has a sort of uh, manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer, and a customer. There was no sort of wholesaler in advertising industry, and that's where we thought, let us try this out. And I always had age as a backup, because age and my degree, because I was just 21 years old. Even if I try over 2 3 years for this, still I had always a chance to go back to the profession, CA profession. And that's the reason we started. But something that you start out of passion, highly likely that you will be successful in that, because that's what keeps you driving, right? So that's how we started into advertising. But obviously the first thought, like, first venture that we started out was not Excellent Publicity. In fact, Excellent Publicity was born out of a failed venture, a miserably failed venture.
Tell us about it.
Right. So, obviously, advertising as an industry was good, but to become a wholesaler, people should know you. Obviously, you need heavy investment. And my father was clear that this is something that we would support you for, but we are not in agreement with it, because you are a CA, you are supposed, you have already got a job, you have an offer in hand. So ideally, you should be focusing on that. But yeah, fair enough. You have 2 years, but he gave me an investment of 2 lakh rupees, that you have 2 lakhs, do whatsoever you want for your dream of yours, passion of yours. So to become a wholesaler, that was the end goal. It was not going to be possible on day one, because you need heavy investment to buy media in bulk for TV, radio, newspaper, and mediums like that. So we came up with a magazine. To start with, we came up with a magazine that could be placed in autos, taxis, and buses. people could advertise inside the magazine, people could advertise on the mode of transport, that is autos, taxis, and buses. We tied up with few of the local auto rickshaw associations. We tied up with one of the biggest players of bus, like a private Volvo buses. We tied up with, at that point of time, biggest private cab uh, transport company, and we started this magazine. We were the ones who were writing articles, designing the magazine, selling the ads, executing everything, and the name of the venture was On Wheels.
Okay.
Why on wheels? Because obviously, magazine on wheels, sort of advertising on wheels. In the first month itself, we realized that, boss, this is not happening. But at that point of time, a lot of people said that we don't want to advertise in magazines. But what about we advertise on the vehicles? And first few campaigns we said no, but then I am like, it's worth trying, and we will have to try, because obviously we have to keep our meter running. And that's when we started accepting orders for advertising on the vehicles. And that's how the journey started. In the first month itself, we got a very big order. Later on, we realized that On Wheels does not sound like an ad agency, right? On Wheels sounds like a transport company, not an ad agency. And that's where we coined our company, Excellent Publicity.
Okay.
Excellent Publicity. Any publicity that is not excellent is a waste of money in the age of cutthroat competition. And when can you have a publicity which is called excellent? When you can reach to the right people at the right time, at the right place. That is the only time when it can be called excellent publicity.
Okay.
And that's how we coined the term, and that's how we started. And slowly and gradually, we had our end goal that this is where we want to go, this is where we want to achieve. And that's how, in the process, we started building up slowly from one medium, second medium, third medium, fourth medium. And since we had our passion driving, and not a kind of second generation, third generation hereditary or something, that's the reason we went all out to achieve whatsoever we can, proactively, aggressively, organically, organized manner, in which the existing players of the advertising industry were not. And that's how the journey started, and we kept on building on the same. So that's how the journey has been so far.
Got it. Can you tell me, curious to understand one thing, as a fresher without any experience of marketing or advertising, how did you approach to the clients? How did you approach the clients, number one? Then how did the clients trust you as a newbie, because you don't have any experience, neither are you from the background?
So I'll tell you what, there is a very interesting story about it. I have started keeping my mustache to make sure clients trust you.
Okay.
As of today also, it's just few gray hairs here and there. Otherwise, if I go somewhere, like, it's just 3 or 4 years back, I wrapped up client pitching and everything. And the client said, I'm sure your parents will be very proud of you. I'm like, sir, why? What happened? That while in college also you are working and making, like, making money for your parents, for yourself, and being independent. I'm like, sir, I'm 33, I'm 31 at that point of time, and I'm not in college, though I look like one. In 2012, so in November 2011, we started Excellent Publicity after the failure of On Wheels. In November 2012, we cracked one of our biggest clients, which is right now a multi-billion-dollar company. I will not be able to name it, but at that point of time, we cracked their Gujarat territory of business. And in that company, everything was being monitored on CCTV in their head office. After they give me the business, there was a specific instruction given from headquarters to the Gujarat local office that this boy, Vaishal, should not be seen in our office. And then I was like, why? Because the bosses are feeling that एक छोटे बच्चे को काम दे दिए.
Oh. Okay.
whether he'll be able to carry on the activities properly or not, because he looks like a very young schoolboy. And so this was one crisis that I faced for many years. Secondly, yes, we were not aware of the advertising industry as a whole, but like as I said, we had passion. So we kept on reading a lot about all kinds of advertising mediums out there, all kinds of rates, all kinds of stuff. But at the core of it, we understood that no matter what media are, the end goal, the objective is simple. We have to provide solutions to the pain point of clients. It's not how much you know about a particular media or something. If you are hitting the right chords, as far as understanding the pain points of the customer, understanding their target audience, understanding their USPs and everything, you will get results. And that's what happened in our case. Clients, we were very upfront that we are very new to this, but give us a chance. And everyone gave us a chance by starting with a smaller value. And since, as I said, we had no previous mindset or a thought process as to this works for this works for this, we came up with kind of options and kind of solutions that a regular or an experienced ad agency would never have it. Like the first big project that we cracked in November, the first month itself, it was a luxurious scheme of bungalows. Right now, it's given that for a luxurious scheme of bungalows, there are only premium advertising mediums that you should try. Right. And rightly so, because you are catering to a kind of an audience that would judge you. Like obviously, the audience that you can find in driving Mercedes, Audi, BMW, or whatever. But then we had a thought process. They had a complete 360-degree media plan, and we planned a lot of things. But in that, we also, so we did hoardings, we did TV campaigns, we did newspapers, we did radios and stuff. But we also added one media, which is auto rickshaw branding. Now, so we used to place banners on the back of auto rickshaws, placing this bungalow scheme. Now, there was a lot of resistance from the marketing team of the real estate builder and stuff. But we got a chance to talk to the real estate developer, the owner himself, and he got convinced that let's invest a small chunk of our just a petite sum in from our entire budget to this medium. Let's try this, just because you are saying it. But if it fails, you are blacklisted forever from the organization. Right? It was a challenge. Right? From an investment of 1 lakh, just 1 lakh rupees we got to invest in auto rickshaw branding. From that 1 lakh, there 12 or 13 bungalows got sold.
Wow.
Now the bungalows were worth 80 lakhs each. Right? From an investment of 1 lakh, they did a tremendous business. And that's what happened. In the second round, they invested 3 lakhs. Now, obviously, it was a luxurious scheme of bungalows, so you cannot do just this, but their maximum revenue was generated through this. Why? Because even if you are in Mercedes or you are in cycle, if the auto rickshaw is in front of you, you will have to see it. There is no escape. And if it is attractive to you, no matter what vehicle you are in or what kind of audience you are in, you are going to generate a response. And once you generate a response, then irrespective of which media you have seen it in, it will be effective. So that's what has been the biggest case study for us till date. And that's how we started our journey. And that's what the first big campaign, the first innovative and out of the box thought process that helped us being successful. And then we have not shied away from giving out such solutions to clients irrespective of whether they agree or not, because eventually our goal has been the same. We want to give our best to our customers, and if we give our best, eventually it will help us only to retain the clients in the industry where there is cutthroat competition and there is no entry barrier practically. If at all anyone wants to start up into advertising, they can, because it's zero investment business. All you need is working capital, some part of working capital, and that's it. You can start the business. But yes, over the period of time, we have got a lot of such resistance, whether they can trust or not. But yes, after a point of time, we did have big names of clients to showcase our work, to showcase our case studies, and I guess that helped.
Got it. So tell me one thing, when you start any service business, especially something into marketing or advertising, the initial
Hmm.
few clients come because of the founder, the person who started it. You go and
Agreed.
talk with that hunger and vision, and they trust you, they give you the business. But when you scale up with more than 100 employees and uh, different verticals of business, starting from radio
Hmm.
to TV ads. I think you are doing like 20, 30 different services. So tell us, how do you manage this when you scale up? Because one person or two founders cannot manage it. I think you need leaders at every level to handle this sort of volume and as well as diversity.
Priya, you'll be shocked if I say this. Uh, Excellent Publicity is not one organization or one business. We actually run 4 or 5 different businesses combined in one organization. So it's a massive challenge. Like, we have 3 lakh plus advertising media in our portfolio, which is we are one of its only kind of advertising agency with the kind of service portfolio that we have. We do
Mhm.
have 3 lakh plus advertising mediums that is divided across 4 verticals. Each vertical can be a giant business on a standalone basis. First one is offline. Offline covers radio, hoarding, newspaper, TV, and all sorts of these traditional business, traditional modes of advertising media. Then second is digital, which is obviously upcoming and which is going to be the biggest over the times, which includes SEO, digital influencer marketing, social media management, and stuff. Third one is sports marketing, which
Mhm.
in the coming times will be huge. It's already huge, but the kind of, like, India, since India has moved uh, beyond cricket also,
Mm.
hockey or kabaddi or football or whatsoever, sports marketing is going to be huge, and it already. So sports marketing and the showbiz. Fourth is corporate gifting. In this, all kinds of R&R programs, all kinds of
Mm.
employee dealer distribution gifting and experiences. So these are the 4 businesses that we are into. For each layer, we have created a kind of leadership hierarchy, and each vertical has 2 different leaders who are leading the team.
Mhm.
Though we are into huge verticals which are individual businesses on their own, we have ensured that we will keep it together as one organization so as to be able to provide the organization all the kinds of services under one tree.
Mm.
And that is, yes, a massive challenge. Also, over a period of time, yes, like you rightly said, clients want founders to communicate with them.
Mm.
But I also believe the same. But over the time, my team has successfully changed that mindset in clients, as well as in my mindset also, because I also believed the same thing. But over the years, I've realized that clients are actually not looking for founders to meet them. Clients are actually looking for someone who can meet them and solve their problems, solve their pain points instantly. Because in
Mm.
more or less in what happens in all the traditional companies, promoters are the ones who call the shots. Nothing in organization can happen without their approval.
Mm.
There are a lot of cases, in our cases also, our payments get delayed by the clients because the founder is traveling.
Okay.
Ideally, that should not. If you once you scale up, you should give that accountability and authority to
Mm.
people to take decisions on their own, to take responsibility on their own. What people do is they award people as uh, decision makers, or they give fancy titles, but they don't give them authority to take certain decisions.
Yeah.
Clients generally expect founders, because of this reason, that whatever negotiation or whatever that they demand, they can get instant approvals or rejections, right? Or
Mm.
instant bargaining or whatsoever. I have given that sort of full authority. Like, for an example, if I tell you, since like 6 years, last 6 years, I have never gone to a client meeting
Mm-hmm.
to start with. Obviously, later on for PR and for building strong relations, when I've gone there to meet people, but as far as fresh client approaches, I have not been on the front end, and my team has been successfully being able to achieve good number of sales. In fact, we have in last 4 years we have grown almost 5x,
Wow.
right? And, 2 years back, 3 years back, we were under 20 crores. Right now, we have touched 100 crores, and it's the kind of transformation that has happened. A sort of compounding effect that as a one person, I will not be able to reach out to 10 people, but my 10 people will be able to reach out to 100 people.
Hmm.
Even if as a founder, I may make a difference, but I'll be able to reach out to only 10 people. But instead of that, if I have 10 people who are going to reach 100 people,
Hmm.
compounding as a whole, collectively, they will be able to achieve more than what I would individually do. Yes,
That's true.
there will be few plus and minus. Like if at all I do everything, obviously that will be probably 100% as per my expectations.
Hmm.
It will not be probably as per my expectations if the team does it. But collectively, if you see, it will be more than 100%, right? And as any budding entrepreneur or any organization looking up to scale, what I would say is trust your team.
Hmm.
Give them all the powers and authorities to carry on the tasks. You should, when you're scaling up the organization, you should be just as, you should look yourself as an investor or as a guide,
Hmm.
right? Who will guide them wherever they're stuck. But you will let them steer the wheel, drive the car. You will not drive the car and expect them to learn how to drive the car. You have to let them drive the car, run the show. That's where they understand and that's where they grow. And that's how you'll be successful in scaling up. Because there'll be massive challenges which on a standalone, Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma on a standalone cannot do everything.
Yeah.
Right? You need good batsmen, good bowler, good fielders. And in today's world, in today's complex world, no single person would have 100% abilities, capabilities. You
Hmm.
need help, you need other resources who can fulfill your part. And I always believe in this. I cannot be the smartest in the room.
Hmm.
My team has to be the smarter ones of the lot. I'll be I'll be able to undergo and solve any challenges.
Uh, well, on this note, I think we have almost come to the closure of the session. Just one last question left, and I would request you to answer it in a very short manner, in 1 or 2 sentences. What is the meaning of entrepreneurship for you? How would you define the term entrepreneur?
Entrepreneurship is touching lives of many families and many people who work for you or who are directly or indirectly associated with you. My team, my family, my vendors, my clients. And these are the people that I have to serve wholeheartedly.
Mhm.
For me, improving their lifestyle, improving their standard of living, making them, enabling them to achieve their life goals is what is entrepreneurship for me. I have a pretty different meaning of entrepreneurship, but every day when I wake up, I smile that 150 people and their family, their livelihoods, or their goals and ambitions I have to achieve. That gives me a different kind of motivation. And I guess that is the emotion. That is entrepreneurship, is that kind of emotion for me.
Thanks for joining us, Vishal. Vaishal. It was a pleasure to have you on our platform, and our
My
best
pleasure.
wishes for excellent publicity.
Thank you so much, Priya. I'm like in terms of answering questions, I'm like Dhoni.
Mhm.
I could give a long answers, but yeah. But it was a
Thanks.
pleasure to be a part. Thank you so much. I hope your health is well.
Thanks, Vaishal, for joining us, and it was a nice interaction. And my best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care, man.